Linda Blair, Jennifer Carpenter, and now Kirby Johnson. She goes on the list of most believably possessed characters I've ever seen. She plays the titular character in The Possession of Hannah Grace, a simple little 90-minute supernatural cop drama thriller by Shay Mitchell. And honestly, it wasn't on my top 10 list of best horror movies I've ever seen, but it wasn't terrible. It's a pretty straightforward story about a cop who's going through some stuff. She quits being a cop and becomes a morgue attendant, and she ends up taking charge of the remains of Hannah Grace, who died during an exorcism. Only she might not be completely dead. She might only be mostly dead. There's a big difference between all dead and mostly dead. And she is apparently mostly dead. And mostly still possessed. The performance of Miss Johnson was amazing. I looked her up. She's a dancer, a contortionist. It's obvious she did all her own work as the possessed Hannah Grace. The way she moved, coupled with this sound effect of crunching bones, it made her painful to watch. She was that convincing. And then when she pulled the demon face, honestly, she could be a Deadite. If the Ash vs. Evil Dead series were still around, she would definitely be a Deadite in multiple episodes. Because she was awesome. As for the woman who she terrorizes, the actress did an okay job. Her backstory and performance is a little bit Lifetime movie, as was the actor playing her boyfriend, well, ex. But overall, I think all the players did a decent job. Besides the sound effects, there's a distinct lack of score. The whole morgue setting for the movie is like a Egyptian tomb, like something Indiana Jones and Lara Croft would both stay away from because it's too messed up. And there's a distinct lack of a score. There's an occasional bit of musical punctuation, but for the most part, it's silent, and the air just feels heavy, coupled with the stone walls and the lights that refuse to stay on all the time because they're motion activated. Really stupid option, by the way. Even though it does save power, it makes things too creepy for people working there. Anyway, the lighting, the lack of sound, the heavy air, the stone walls, they all just made the whole setting feel like it was a forbidden temple. The real star, besides Kirby, was definitely the morgue itself. The supernatural elements weren't overdone. Rather, they were sort of toned down and made more believable. Like, you almost could think this could actually happen. The demonic makeup that Hannah Grace wears just makes her look like a human being who's been sick a long time and is still sick. Like, almost rabid. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Live TV gets interrupted. Anywho, like I said, the stars of this picture were Hannah and the morgue. They were the whole show. It was a treat seeing her performance in this setting. And while it's not the greatest horror movie I've ever seen, it's certainly a decent way to kill an hour and a half. Although, had they pushed it a little farther, maybe it would have been slightly better. Could have been slightly better, but it wasn't terrible. And that's all I have to say. This is Mr. J signing out and reminding you, if someone's possessed and they die, remember to dismember them, because you never know. Yeah, but seriously, I'm just kidding on that part.